Perf Talk is brought to you in part by gcrockboard.com, home of quality handcrafted pedal boards and your number one source for some of the best pedal brands in the market.
At what point in your career did you realize that you're a gearhead?
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, probably as early when I was a kid, because I just would get the magazines and the catalogs and be like, I want this, I want this, I want that. So
No, I enjoy the posts you put on Instagram, like the old guitar for practicing musicians and all that.
Yeah.
And encircling the ads, because I saw those same ads growing up.
Mm-hmm.
In the Philippines, we didn't get the guitar magazines on time.
Right.
They were like 3 to 6 months later.
Sure.
Yeah, but then it's like I distinctly remember like going through the same ads, like, oh, I want that, I want that.
Yeah. It's funny. It's kind of like, even growing up, I would be into other things, and I would buy magazines, like maybe like a karate magazine or something or whatever, and I would just flip through it, and I would never care about any of the stuff in it. But as soon as like guitar magazines come out and there's all this gear, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool, that looks awesome. It was like a shopping catalog or Sears catalog, or just like I want this for Christmas, so early on it was just like really into gear, and that's kind of like part of being a guitar player. I don't even think drummers or bass players or keyboard players have that same, passion for gear. I don't know. Maybe they do.
Oh, no, you'd be surprised.
Really?
One of the drummers in my local band here, he has 7 drum kits.
Okay.
Yes. And it's...
But does he go through drum magazines and be like, oh, I want these sticks or this snare drum or these heads or something?
He must go through something, because he'd go through a Yamaha phase, and everything, all his kits would be Yamahas, like different vintages.
Yeah.
And then he'd go through Gretsch phase or DW phase, and he'd go through like snobs too, like DW, I don't like that. And then the next thing you know, he'd get like 3 DW kits.
That's crazy. Drum sets are expensive though.
And it's I don't know where he stashes them. Like 7 drum kits in your house, Okay, I asked you this at the NAMM show, but I was playing back the video, and for some reason the mic was turned around or something, and it wasn't really clear. But what makes a piece of gear a keeper?
Oh yeah. It's if I'm able to get a good sound like within 10 seconds. Okay. So if I don't have to twiddle the knobs to get to that sweet spot that I'm looking for, or find a sound that I really, really like, if it takes me longer to tweak it, then it's not for me. But if it's something that like I instantly plug in, turn on, maybe the knobs are at noon for everything, and it sounds great, then that's usually a keeper. That's kind of how I test all my gear, even guitars, amps. So the less knobs, usually the better. I'm very turned off by gear that has a ton of knobs and stuff. Sliders. If it has 2 sliders, that's even better.
Yeah. Let's talk about this guy. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So, how did the signature pedal come about?
I think Zach from Mythos approached me about doing a signature pedal. We were talking about like, if you were to have a signature pedal, what would be on it? Which is, it's fun to talk about. And I don't even remember what my first idea was. I want to say it was something with a fuzz, but I changed my mind a bunch of times. And the more and more I did gear demos, I noticed that one of the sounds that I really, really liked was overdrive with a little bit of slap echo. There was something about, and it wasn't something because I was really into rockabilly at the time or whatever, but it was more like it just has this like presence. It kind of makes your notes stick out a little bit more without, sounding like a chorus or something. So, so it started with that.
It's kind of like an effect they use for lead vocals. There's always like a little bit of slap back.
Yeah.
To get it to pop.
It's like the littlest amount of ambience you could put on something. Because it's not reverb. It's just like seriously one repeat. But it's just that a little bit of ambience that helps it stick out a little more. So my idea was definitely echo and overdrive. And then I was trying to think of names. And that's... I don't even know why I decided on SUSMARYOSEP, but I can't remember what I was watching. I mean, it might have been like Joe Coy doing something, and I was like, man, I got to name that SUSMARYOSEP. So I had named it. I thought of that name, and then because it's 3 words together, I'm like, well, I got to think of a third effect to put in there. So like, let's just go with a boost, because that's something else that I always pair with my overdrives is a boost before the overdrive to kind of push it a little bit more. So boost, overdrive into echo was the triad, the trio of the 3 horsemen.
and how did you come? Who came up with the sliders?
Man, I'm trying to remember if it was me or Zach. I feel like it was Zach. He brought up the idea of sliders. Because I think I just wanted like one knob or something. Oh, you know what? The initial idea was to have the echo preset with no control. Like not even a mix. Like here's the sound. This is what you're going to get. So we talked about just having a knob or a slider. And then, because I was like, okay, let's make the time and the repeats preset to my settings, and then they can at least control the level. And he's like, well, I think it would probably be a better business move to put a little control, whether it's internal or he thought of those little trim pots on the side, so you can at least adjust it. But I think it was pretty much his idea with the whole design of the sliders and the graphic, and I sent him like the fonts that I wanted to use, because I was thinking of like Jeepney type of font. So I looked for like a Jeepney font, and so that's where it comes from. The actual, so there's a sun, so that's the
that's the
Filipino
sun, the middle.
sun.
Yeah.
And then the actual font for the SUSMARYOSEP is the font that I use for my video thumbnails, actually.
Mm-hmm. So
that's it.
Yeah, because the sliders are actually a really, really nice touch. It makes the pedal look really balanced. It's not offset like there's a weird knob here and then there's a low knob here,
It's cool because, the boost is obviously just a slider, but the echo, it has the side trim pots, so you do actually have control, but it doesn't look like you do.
Yeah. From a lot of comments on my video indicate that people are under the impression that this is a Filipino-made pedal. It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, it's handmade in Nashville, Tennessee,
yes,
by Mythos Pedals. See, I can't say it right anymore.
Mythos.
Mythos Pedals.
Mythos.
Okay, Mythos Pedals. For those of you not familiar with the brand, Mythos is a boutique brand. So for the money that you're spending on this pedal, it's a bargain. Actually, it's so much. You get the 3 pedals in one, 3 distinct, high quality sounds in one, and it's usable in every situation. Like I was amazed. I actually unboxed as soon as it arrived. I took it out of the box and started twiddling with the knobs.
Yeah,
and I shot the video right there.
Nice.
It's like, oh, okay, so. Let me do this. And that's also an example of a video where I couldn't wait to make it public, but I had to wait a couple of several days because I had videos lined up too. It's like, I want to release this already,
I know the feeling. Well, thank you for making that video. It was awesome.
It was fun, dude. I get a lot of comments like from my viewers in the Philippines, like, why are you speaking with an American accent? You're Filipino, or why are you speaking in English? you know, and everything.
So
So
you
that
did
was
Taglish.
I did the Taglish thing, and I did the exaggerated
Yeah.
accent out of fun. I didn't lose a bet or anything.
I don't know. It was amazing. It was exactly what I was hoping for. I showed my dad and my sister. They loved it.
Awesome. So if you were going to go to a like a a jam session, or if you were traveling light, would this handle all the things that you'll need?
It would if it was a situation where I was playing my own style, because that pedal is kind of like my sound in a box. Obviously, for if you're a session guy or whatever, you'd probably have to take a lot more stuff. But if I was getting called to sit in on a gig or do a blues gig or whatever, I would just take that pedal because that's kind of my signature tone to me. Basically overdrive and slap, and then the boost is great for, if I want a little bit of push for the solos and everything. So if anything, I would add maybe a fuzz before that just for some fun, but that would be all I would need.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just thinking about this the other day because the way I have the Echo set, I have a slightly longer repeat, and I didn't tweak the feedback at all. Actually, I just made it longer. Another thing I could see a use for this pedal is this would be like an ultimate boost type of deal where you have the clean boost, and then if you want to tighten things up, you have the overdrive boost.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can do the Van Halen thing, where it's the echo before the distorted amp.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so
I should try that.
I haven't tried that yet.
No, I haven't tried getting Van Halen tones off of that. That'd be cool. I'm gonna try that. Put it in front of me.
So that's
something I'm gonna try out too.
Yeah.
That way it's not just you don't just think of it as a strictly blues pedal. It's utilitarian. It's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, because the Echo side isn't just that rockabilly slap. It comes preset to that because that's what I like. But you can get, I forget what it was, like 420 milliseconds of delay, which is enough to do like kind of ambient-y type of stuff.
Yeah. And you can certainly do like the Dean Park stuff where he has a set time and it's on all the time regardless of what the tempo is, just to get the space around the notes.
Yeah, which is funny because that's how I used to have my sound as well. I used to always have a little bit of delay, maybe like 120 BPM delay, just for a little bit of ambience. Even on my rhythm sound, it was crazy. I relied on that stuff all the time.
Yeah. Okay, this will be a quick round. Top 3 guitars
that I own
ever that you've ever played. That
I've ever played. Ooh. Okay, that 59 Les Paul that I played at Carter the last week.
Okay, the recent one. Yeah.
My Novo series, my Novo Crockett, which is the Cirrus J, the pink and teal Ronquillo.
Ronquillo, yeah.
Yeah, and then what did I say? Oh, my Sen Fullerton Strat. It's my favorite Strat.
Okay, top 3 pedals.
SUSMARYOSEP.
That's three right there.
The Sus, the Mari, and the Josep. No, oh gosh, there's so many. SUSMARYOSEP, King Tone, Germanium Fuzz.
Okay.
Right now, I go through phases, and then the Sabadius Funky Vibe, Univibe clone that I have.
Top 3 amps
that I own.
Ever.
A Matchless DC-30, a Fender Vibrolux Reverb, and oh gosh, this is hard that I ever played.
Or even heard.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to go with my Amplified Nation Steel String Sultan, which I have coming. Because I demoed it and I loved it so much that I ordered one.
That's the Dumble style, Dumble steel stringers type.
Yes, exactly. So it's like a totally clean platform amp.
Yeah, I love the Dumble tone. I have a Dumble ODS clone that my friend built me
Oh yeah.
in the back, and then for the longest time that was my main amp. I tried to make it do everything.
Yeah.
even the things it's not supposed to do.
They're so interesting. They definitely have a different voice than most other amps I've played.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is gonna be tough. What's the gear or guitar that you've lusted after but still haven't tried or played?
Gear. Ooh. That I've lusted after.
Yeah. But never had the opportunity to play yet.
Oh God, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. Because I've been at Carter so many times that I've gotten to play a bunch of cool stuff now.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's funny. I haven't gotten a chance to play the new Steve Vai model, even though I've seen it so many times.
The Pia?
The Pia. I never got a chance to pull it off the rack and play it at NAMM. And I was telling my friend that works at Ibanez, he was asking me which color would you play, or what do you like? And I'm like, I think I'd do the gold because it's so gaudy and it's so not obnoxiously, but it's so ornate when it's gold and it's got the fancy pickups and inlays and everything. I'm like, you got to go all the way with gold. So I think a gold Pia would be the one that's just out there that I haven't gotten to play.
How close are you to be able to play it?
I don't know. I haven't emailed Ibanez or anything, so that's down the line.
Okay, cool. Okay, what else is there for RJ to conquer? What's your future plans?
I always say this. It's putting out my own record as a guitar player, as an artist, and it's I was sort of working on it earlier this year, and then all this stuff happened, so I kind of put it on the back burner. But that's something I would say for the past year and a half that I've been kind of talking about. It's just hard to juggle when I'm working on other stuff. It's something that I want to put 100% focus on, but I have to make the time to do that. So it's that's probably the top thing on my list to hopefully do this year.
Do you have a vision for it?
I sort of had a vision, but it keeps on changing. I've kind of written out a couple tunes or riffs or whatever, how you want to call it. So it's kind of a little, definitely bluesy, but there's, I think about doing a little more rock fusion-y things, but that maybe I'll save that for another thing. But definitely along the lines of kind of virtuoso blues, instrumental too, because I don't want to sing anymore.
Well, what would help make that happen is if you hire yourself.
What?
Yeah, hire yourself to make your own record.
Oh yeah.
That way, that way it's this is a gig. It's not something that I just want to do in my off time.
That's true. That's true. I have to put it in my calendar. I'm scheduled to do this gig for myself.
Yeah. You're on the clock. Chop chop.
Yeah.
Do you have any other? What's your message to our viewers right now?
Practice makes perfecto. No,
that's awesome.
I think just on behalf of all the YouTubers, thank you for everyone that supports us and watches us and hangs out with us. Just keep on playing guitar. Do it for fun and the love of it, and not because of competition or money or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, that's it. That wraps up our awesome interview with RJ Ronquillo. Yes. So thank you so much for the time and the insight and everything. Like I love doing this for all the viewers because it allows them to take a peek into our minds a little bit, for the process and demystifies a lot of things that we do. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we got to get that jam sorted out.
Yes,
Eventually.
We'll start a new one.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it. Do all the good YouTube things. Subscribe to RJ. If you're on Patreon, subscribe to his. What does Patreon's what's Patreon's term for it? Follow, subscribe,
patronize. I don't know.
Patronize RJ.
Sign up. I think just sign up for the Patreon.
Sign up.
Yeah, become a Patreon. Become a patron. I think that's the become RJ's patron if you're able to. But just enjoy all the stuff that we put out, and we'll keep doing it for all you guys. That's it.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.